Khan. Hey, Shalom.
Shalom.
Khan, Shalom. First and foremost, we want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rachakwadash, and double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and as well as the men that taught them, and peace and blessings to all you walking out there who pushing his word with all truth and sincerity, and as well as to all you believers out there who believe in on the gospel. And it's a couple of brothers from the Great Millstone Houston camp. I'm the brother Korah Abad. And as always, we got the beloved brother Tazapah as well.
Khan, Shalom.
Khan. And hey, the water Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, once again, for blessing us with another opportunity, to come forth and, and bring forth these, these prophecies or news, whatever you want to call it, but the happiness that's going on in these latter days, the important things that's taking place in these latter days, which everybody attention eventually go turn to what we talking about. Like right now, everything's still good. You can watch LeBron against or the Lakers against the Rockets. You can get into all type of stuff, but eventually, when as we about to go into a digital prison is coming, times get hard. Esau show he the devil even more to y'all people. Y'all gonna realize this ain't for y'all to be comfortable. We ain't in no time to be comfortable, man. But everything we saying gonna grab y'all people attention one way or another, man. So we're in some exciting times, and again, there's a lot going on as it is every week. But we'll just touch on this digital prison as we know this is the hot topic. This one of the hot topics, I should say. But we know according to the main prophecy that's left, the MOTB, in order for the MOTB, in order for that to come and actually be mandated, they have to set up the system first. The foundation of the system throughout society need to be set up first. And that's what we're witnessing right now before they actually usher their digital grain of rice in people's bodies, man. And as other times of pot here often go into. And the first step was really this is the second step, But the first step was getting a jab. CV19, when you people got that jab, that put those those nanoparticles in you, that tech in you. So now when the CBDC, the MOTB do go in you, your blood cells, your body won't fight against it. It will, but in Esau mind, he think that this juice that he inoculated everybody with go fight against this C-hip,
I got a video. I got a video with this random dude. He could be Ishmael or Elam. And he was breaking that down. Just what you saying, well, like we've been breaking it down. He was breaking it down. He said, COVID isn't a name, it was a code. And then he went through the acronym of COVID, Certificate of Vaccination Identification, and then dash AI or 19, called A. A is 1 and 9 is I. And that's what it is. Certificate of Vaccination Identification for AI, dash AI. So now they're getting ready to bring AI. You got the certificate of vaccination already because y'all been vaccinated. So now when they do the AI, and then he said the same thing we were saying, when they turn these frequencies on, you're going to see people go crazy, get, infuriated, angry. It's going to be a mixture of shit. I mean, you could even see zombies. But yeah, I just watched the video on that. I wish I had sent it to you. But you got it out.
That's it. But again, hey, man, so and this is one of the prophecies to pay attention to. Now we're gonna hop into it because again, the system got to be set up first in order for everything to work together. Because they can't give the C-hip to the people and put it in people's bodies, and when they go into the stores, they don't have the system set up yet. It can't. That's backwards. The things in society have to be set up first. That's when we gonna cause also. Now when the people go out into the world, you see everything is digital around them, so there's nowhere around it. But let's hop into it real quick. Let me know if you got some other Tazapah. National.
I kick it off. I kick
Con,
it
you
off
got it.
with Micah 2:10.
Con.
Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted. It shall destroy you, even with a sore destruction. All right. So it's talking about Esau's rulership. All right. This is not our rest, as you was mentioning. This ain't the time to get comfortable. It never was for us. And Esau made sure we never got comfortable. When we, had a Rosewood,
Black Wall Street.
what's that, Black Wall Street out in Tulsa, and all these cities where Jake was thriving, Esau come and uprooted. So this has never been our rest, except before the white man got here for some of the northern kingdom. But after Esau arrived, that was the beginning of the plagues and the curses. Well, not for us, but coming into these last days to bring about, the salvation of the children of Israel, pursuant to 2 Thessalonians 2:3. See, the falling away, we had fell away. The southern, but you had the northern who still knew they was Israelites. They had to fall away too, and we all came into captivity under this devil. All right. So we could come to this point in these last days, that 350-year prophecy to bring out this gospel, so faith could come in the earth and brothers could wake up and be healed and get their salvation. Lord willing, we all fighting for this crown. But right, Esau, when he came back into power, loose from them chains for a little season, he did exactly what he did with Greece when evils was multiplied under after Alexander passed and his 4 generals took over. They tell you Maccabees, the 1st chapter, evils was multiplied. Well, when this devil was loose for a little season, evils was multiplied. All right. And yeah, you can't rest when the devil is in rule. But you got it out, because that's you can go into a whole lesson on that.
Mm-hmm.
So you got Jake that make these deals, think they gonna get in with Esau and live good. He ain't finna let you. He'll give you the money and all that, but you're gonna have to do stuff that you ain't really want to do. But yeah, this is the devil. Go ahead, Doc.
Yeah, that's it. And he about to show his horns. And really, that's in Revelation 13 chapter.
Yeah, he really fixing to go hard. After all the stuff we done seen, he done been going hard, but he getting ready to go hard.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, brother, my bad, you got it.
Now you good. Yeah, he about to show the world who he really is, no? The devil.
Mm-hmm.
And I get this real quick because it's beautiful. The Lord got this in the same chapter. But in Revelation 13, it gives, starting off the chapter, it gives an overview of the power structure that the Lord will give the so-called white man in the earth. Starting with the Greeks and then the Romans, and then Rome fell, and then a system like an unto Rome will come back, which we know that's America, NATO, and the EU. Then eventually will be destroyed or brought down by the feet, which is the feet of a bear, which is Russia. But in this chapter, because it gives an overview of Esau ruling on earth, and then it gets to the last part of him ruling, in which when America, how the deadly wound was healed. When Western Rome fell, went to the Dark Ages, and then the Renaissance, when the so-called white man came back out into power, started gaining power. And that's when America came into being. Now, the thing is, when you go to here, it says this. Real quick, just to show the so-called white man, about to show who he is. Revelation 13 and 11. And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had 2 horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon. And that's the time we're coming in, that latter end of the so-called white man. Right. He seemed as he was docile and liberal, and he had a help and assistance, People thought he really ruled to help the people. No, it was all fake. But now he's about to show his real side, which is now he about to be a dragon. Draconian type laws is upon the world, man, mainly America. But in the same chapter, when you go down, when he do show himself as a dragon, the devil, this was gonna be the same time he was gonna bring about that MOTB system, and that's what we witnessing. We'll come back to it. Let's hop into this article though. So this is from today, the 30th. It says nationalnews.com, escape the digital prison, how to resist CBDCs, biometric surveillance, and AI tyranny before it's too late. Before we even get into it, it ain't no way to resist it. It's all a part of prophecy. It have to happen. These things got to take place. But it says, let me see if I can read it. I read the first two parts. It says governments and corporations enforce control through digital IDs, CBDCs, and AI surveillance and financial censorship rather than brute force. See, he gonna set it up around you. It says eroding personal freedoms under the guise of optimization. Let's see what that means. Optimization. It means, man, just give me a quick little definition, bro. It says optimization, the action of making the best or most effective use of a situation or resources. And we know we touched on last week. They said how that CV19 worked so good for them. They gotta run that back, the lockdowns and everything. But let's hop into it. It says in an era where the government and corporations wield unprecedented control over our lives, escape the digital prison, the battle for privacy in the age of technology serves as both a dire warning and a practical survival guide. It says, written with urgency and precision, this book, and this is going into Mike Adams, it loves stuff. It says, dismantles the illusion of freedom in the modern world and lays bare the mechanisms of digital enslavement, central bank digital currencies, CBDCs, and biometric IDs, AI-driven censorship, and financial surveillance. But this isn't just another dystopian prophecy, it's a battle plan. It says technocracy isn't coming, it's already here. Unlike traditional tyranny, which rules through brute force, technocracy operates through algorithms, digital IDs, and financial controls. Got to go back to it, because when he showed he the devil, Revelation 13 and verse 15, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. And he causeth, and when you go into the word kill, it go into apo. The Greek word is apo, which is, he can literally kill you. You can, be put under a guillotine, but it's going into being cast out of society. You not being able to get healthcare, food, financial means, because you cast out of society because you don't want to go along with the New World Order.
All right, we was going into apostle last night. Yeah, that's the prefix of apostle, apo, to send away.
Yep.
Or cast away, or send forth. But right, that's it.
Okay.
Oh, and they've been circulating them shorts and videos showing how they doing in China. They got just an onset of homelessness now because of the digital system. People just wake up and they shut out of society. And that's what's coming to America. You can look like, hundreds of people just camped out on the streets and shit, on the sidewalk in China. It could be AI, but we know that's how they doing it. To what extent the homeless is, or the homelessness is, we can't say. But the elite have said that China is the model. And so you just get, that's what's coming. You know, all of a sudden you don't get a paycheck. You don't get a paycheck. How you gonna pay your rent? Oh, well, you got to go and sign up for the digital registry and the national digital ID, and you got to go through there and sign up and get all your stuff into the digital, and then get your mark, and then you can get back to, you know, however they're gonna do it, UBI, all of this. But yeah, you got it, brother.
Done. That's spot on. And I'm gonna finish reading that Revelation 13, but I want to hit this again because that's what's happening. They don't have to start off using brute force. Esau is programming, and man, and that's what he's doing through gradualism. He's slowly leading the people into this digital system. Because you know they don't see what's happening around them. They don't see that banks are changing their regulation. They don't see that stores are changing the way they do things. Because Esau feeding them with bread and circus and everything still. I'm gonna read this again.
Changing.
Would you say, Zaquan?
No, a lot of things are changing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's it. I'm gonna read this again. It says technocracy isn't coming, and we'll play 2 videos after this, and that's really it. You know, but this article is just an opening for those 2 videos because they're gonna kind of go into it a little bit. But it says technocracy isn't coming, it's already here. Unlike traditional tyranny, and that's what Yuval Noah Harari said. He said, and I heard Elder Yashawamba, it was on one of his videos, he played the video, but Yuval Noah Harari said tyrants of the past didn't have as much power as they do now. You know, they didn't have the digital means to control people as they do now. So it says technocracy isn't coming, it's already here. Unlike traditional tyranny or tyranny, which rules through brute force, technocracy operates through algorithms, digital IDs, and financial controls. Governments no longer need soldiers to enforce compliance. They can freeze bank accounts, restrict travel, or silence dissent with keystrokes. Going back to this. This is what it's leading to, Revelation 13 and 16. And he calls of all. That's that cause. He ain't got to just kill you. You're going to force the system around you, whether you're going to get down with it or move around. It says, he calls of all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark, charagma, which is that RFID micro C-hip, in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. You see?
Right. Charagma.
Mm-hmm. Yep. You had anything?
No, you good.
Can I read a little bit more? We can play the vids and do a little commentary on those. It says the author meticulously traces the roots of this system to the early 20th century elites who envision society as a machine to be optimized by them, of course. Today, organizations like the World Economic Forum and the Bank of International Settlements openly advocate for a great reset where a global data-driven governance model replaces national sovereignty. And that's 2nd Esdras 15. They forgetting the legitimate government and they're moving on to more advanced digital things. You know, and I read a couple of these because it says the tools of oppression. It says digital IDs and biometric tracking. What's sold as convenience is really a leash. Countries like China and the EU are rolling out digital identity systems that link everything, banking, healthcare, travel, to a single government control profile. Refuse the juice. You see the word right there, the VACCINE. Your digital wallet gets flagged. Criticize the regime, your social credit score drops. CBDCs, the death of financial freedom. Unlike Bitcoin, which is decentralized, CBDCs are programmable money. Governments can impose expiration dates, right? If you don't spend it on time, you ain't just gonna have it for the next month. You got 30 days to spend, 15 days to spend
Right. That's
on
right.
whatever they want you to spend it on. And I don't know, I know you probably seen this other types of power, but even with like WIC, like food stamps, I don't know
Yeah,
if it's in all
that's
states.
changed.
What'd you say?
That's changed. They
Yeah,
changing that up. But go ahead. What you gonna
no,
say?
yeah, you can't just buy snacks, just snacks and juice,
Mm-hmm.
and candy and cereal. Nope, get some water.
Yeah, we thought yeah, thought JFK was gonna do something, about Roundup and all that shit, and all he did was, you know, take your junk food.
Hmm.
I'm sorry, RFK.
Yeah.
Yeah, con.
And you see how they do that? That's gradual and that's subtle,
Yep,
the devil. Because the Americans start like, yeah, that's good for us, a more healthier way. Why you ain't been doing that, right? But
exactly.
but, but now the people who all these things was easily accessible to, you thought you was, things was gonna get a little healthier, but now you can't get what you had, and it ain't no replacements for it. There ain't no alternatives.
Oh, and did you see 147,000 farms are shutting down this year because of Roundup? Did you see that?
I ain't see that, but I'm gonna check it out.
I got to see what I forgot. It was one of the brothers posted that. But yeah, man, it's getting wild, bro. All this is being done, unbeknownst to the masses. There's some people, they keep keep an eye on what's going on. But for the majority of the people, they don't know what's happening. But yeah, brother, you got it.
Con. Yeah, we can go ahead and wind this down. It says, and governments can impose expiration dates, spending limits, or even freeze your funds based on your behavior. China's digital yuan already blocks undesirable purchases, while Nigeria's e-naira forces cash withdrawal limits.
Mm.
Right? Uh,
And
cool.
Ford is patenting the technology where the new cars will be coming out with sensors and they with facial recognition in the sensors and in the car, and they say if you look drowsy, just looking in your eyes, if you just look off, the car might start, but it will not go into gear. So this is what's coming. AI is a machine, all right? It's a thinking machine, but it's a machine, all right? You will become an algorithm. AI's job, as you read out, is optimization. All right. And if that means it needs to get rid of you for that optimization to go on this, program, it will have no issue whatsoever getting rid of you, just as if you stick your hand in that machine. The machine ain't, oh shit, get your hand out of me. Your hand is gone. If you're not gone altogether, if it don't suck you into it,
Mhm.
because it's a machine, and this AI is a machine, and this is what I've been, just trying to get people to wrap their minds around. What's coming is just cold calculation, and you will be a part of that calculation. And at any time, so in other words, you know, you a big man, you like to eat, and I said, no, that's not sufficient or sustainable. You got to eat this, you know, used to eating so much, calories a day. If it say no, you going from 5,000 down to 1,000, you going to 1,000. If it decides, well, your medicine is not sustainable, you know, you ain't getting that medicine. They're removing humanity from this shit. I mean, it's more than a digital prison state. It's digital for a reason, so they can optimize your ass. I'm glad you went into that word. All right. So they can optimize you. And that's why you need a microchip. How much better to optimize you than to put the system in you? Yes, optimization coming all right. And the people ain't gonna like it. You will be an algorithm, a part of the equation. And whatever part they find you, because you'll all be expendable. And in whatever time they feel like they had enough of you, you out. This is what y'all selling, buying into. This is what IUIC is not telling you. Or ISUPK for that matter. But go ahead, the Lord has warned you. You got it, brother.
That's it. So we'll play this quick little short real quick, and then we'll play a couple minutes of this last video. But on this video, it says every crisis pushes us closer to a digital prison, and that's exactly what's happening. You know, with the skirmishes between Iran, Israel, and America, pushing us closer to a digital prison. You know, the Strait of Hormuz, which that's a part of the same situation, but it's gonna be more false FLAGSs. There's gonna be more of them. Remember who that was came out and said, prepare for shock events. Who's World Economic Forum, I believe. They said prepare for a world of shock events, right? All these events that's gonna take place, whether it's of the Lord, whether it's of Esau just doing stuff, or however it happened, it's gonna go closer to a digital system. One, because if it's of the Lord, that's a part of prophecy. The Heavenly Father need that digital system to come. And if it's of Esau need a digital system to come, because in his way, that's how he gonna
still of the Most High.
So it's the same thing. You got it.
Yeah, no, it's still of the Most High. You're right. Go ahead.
God. But I'll go ahead and play this real quick.
It seems like this one world government, one world banking system, this international bankers cartel, as you mentioned, we're starting to see now the movement of that more than ever before. With what's going on with the digital currency, where do you see this moving next?
Well, I think that's pretty easy to predict without much fear of being wrong, because as Alex mentioned a moment ago, they've been telling us for years what's going to happen. And I would say they're pretty much on schedule. They've always said it's going to take a long time. A lot of adjustments have to be made, not only technical adjustments, but adjustments in the thinking of the populations of the world, because they're not going to want to give up their national currencies quickly. They have to be eased into that. And of course, if there's a crisis on afoot, then there's a justification for moving a little more quickly and so forth. Which one of the reasons that we have so many crises is so we will move into the FEMA camps a little quicker and not complain, thinking it's for our own good.
And play that back one more time.
I'm excited to be here.
Play that back one more time.
I'm excited to be here. You know, every day that I have on earth is a gift.
You know, Esau, you know, he on cocaine. I don't even know who he is, but you know, I don't know how to go back on here. You know, he also.
You better not get one of them new cars.
Yeah, but let's go ahead and play this one. So this says from Health Ranger Report: decentralized freedom versus technocratic control. Aaron Day on crypto, real ID, and self-custody solutions. Now I was just gonna kind of let this play out of Tazapah, and we can do commentary. So if you hear a point, you know, let me know. But I was kind of gonna let it play for a good 5-10 minutes, maybe.
All right, sound good.
And that was pretty much it. So, but yeah, let's go ahead and get it in. So what they gonna go into is how Trump and them came in and they made it seem like they was trying to, help the government, get back money for the people, but really they taking the government away and installing AI and tech giants. And now they about to fast track, as we, not just us, but the apostles, elders, brothers been saying, now with Trump and things set in place, they can fast track this digital system a little more.
Build private, uncensorable, free alternative platforms for all of these things. And by the way, the Instagram thing that you mentioned, I mean, they're just using this to manipulate your dopamine anyway, and to influence what and how you think. Right. People would be well advised to get off of that anyway.
And TikTok is very much the same way. And of course, we know who just took over TikTok in order to stop criticism of a certain country. That's done now. And also X changed its algorithms recently as well. So yeah, and I think it was this morning I saw a post. Was it Donald Trump Jr. bragging about how his family's made $1 billion on crypto since Trump became president? And it's like, is that an admission of insider trading or what's going on here? You know, there's a lot of sketchy stuff happening.
There's a lot of sketchy stuff happening. I mean, you know, you have the Trump meme coin, which was launched the day before the inauguration, which has dropped 95% in value, but has netted, you know, millions and millions or tens of millions of dollars to the Trump family. They have a World Liberty Financial, which is a DeFi play. They actually have their own, the Trump family has a stable coin. And that stable coin has $2.6 billion market cap. So Howard Lutnick, our Commerce Secretary, his firm manages all of the treasuries for Tether, which is the largest stablecoin on the planet. And by the way, this is a little bit suspicious. So Lutnick had no political involvement. Nobody knew about Lutnick in politics. He was not involved at all. He cut a deal with Tether years ago and invested $600 million in exchange for getting the exclusive contract to manage the treasuries for Tether. And then he gets into this position, and then the Genius Act is passed requiring stablecoins to be backed by treasuries. Howard Lutnick is the single biggest beneficiary of the Genius Act. And so this is kind of an unprecedented level of corruption that's going on right now in this crypto space.
Wow. And then the dollar's failing. And it seems to me that the Trump administration is okay with that because they want to reset it into the digital space where they have all this control and they are the gatekeepers of everything that happens. That's what it seems.
Yeah, I can actually see a scenario where we end up with a token, a digital token that's backed by Bitcoin. So where you actually have a confiscatable token backed by confiscatable digital gold, which is what Bitcoin is. And by the way, somebody just sent me this today, which I retweeted. The Bitcoin.com handle on X actually states that Bitcoin is trackable digital gold. They're not even hiding it anymore. The white paper said peer-to-peer digital cash, and now the Bitcoin official Twitter thing says trackable digital gold. And so people are actually excited about this use case. You might have also noticed that this week, the United States Bitcoin strategic reserve, if you want to call it that, has increased from 200,000 Bitcoin to 325,000 Bitcoin.
I saw that.
Well, how did this happen? Well, they didn't buy it on the open market. They didn't mine it. They stole it.
Yeah, right.
They stole it through civil asset forfeiture. So it's important for everybody to know that your Bitcoin can be and is completely tracked. And the way the government is increasing its share is by stealing it from people.
Yep.
Shocker.
The same way they steal oil from Russian vessels in the Mediterranean Sea or wherever. They just come up and say, well, yeah, we're stealing your ship or we're stealing your oil. It's just piracy on the high seas. And they do it into Bitcoin wallets too. I mean, we're living under an empire that is actually, what's the right way to describe it? It's a piracy empire. They just steal from everybody all over the world. You know, economic hitmen. I mean, the whole thing.
And that's Habakkuk, the second chapter. America still, the so-called white man, steal from everybody in the world. And even got his own people calling him out, man.
Right.
I interviewed John Perkins years ago, and that's what this is.
It's exactly what it is, and at scale. And so, you know, this is why I said, you know, Americans are brainwashed because we have this idea that we're acting like it was during the time of the founding with the Constitution. We are so far removed from the Constitution. We are just implementing things by fiat. And well, I've gone into this on my podcast in great detail, but I mean, we're now even talking about a sovereign wealth fund, which is a dangerous thing. And you might have noticed now that the United States government is starting to take equity positions in companies. So the U.S. now owns 10% of Intel. We own what is it? Libertas or Lithium America, Lithium Mining Company and others. And they're using loopholes to do this because Congress hasn't officially approved a sovereign wealth fund. But sovereign wealth funds account for 7% of the assets around the globe. It's $12 trillion. And when you research this, what you'll find is that most of the sovereign wealth funds are run by dictators or monarchs. And in fact, one of the biggest funding sources now, people say, well, we've defeated the globalists because Trump won and, now the UN isn't going to have funding. You know who's funding the UN? These sovereign wealth funds. So a lot of these companies, a lot of these countries in the Middle East are actually funding Agenda 2030. And they're even implementing some of their own programs based on the 2030 principles. And so now the United States government is actively in the process of building a sovereign wealth fund, which,
See, American in process of doing their own thing.
in my opinion, is anti-American and is also a bridge to technocracy.
Right. So America in a process right now, just as the other nations, of building their own sovereign wealth fund. And what he said right here, and it's a bridge to technocracy.
So a lot of these companies,
Trump got in office, because he said another thing too. He got in office because the people thought, yeah, Trump against the deep state. He's against the elites. He's against the CBDC. So everybody was with it, not knowing this, the charismatic leader. The whole time people thought he was against it, but he was with it. Now he's led you into this trap, and now they about to accelerate and speed things up. That's where we at right now.
I got John chapter 10, verse 10.
You got it.
The thief cometh not, but for to steal and to kill and to destroy. I am come that they might have life and that they might have it more abundantly. All right.
Mm-hmm.
The thief is Esau Edom. All right, and that's exactly what they telling the truth. This is piracy. This is the world is ruled by piracy, theft, thieves. All right. You look into the history of America, white America, the founding of white America. All right. Men like Russell Taft and stuff, who started Yale University. Smith, I forget so and so Smith. It was a Smith, but that was started by pirate money. All right, that's what Skull and Bones of Yale. That's the Jolly Rogers from the flag, the pirate ships, the Skull and Bones. Yeah, it's piracy going way back. But you got it out. This ain't nothing new. This is what he does. He ain't added nothing to humanity. Every time somebody comes with an invention to forward humanity, he kills them, patents their idea, and then he hides it. Until he can weaponize it, then he bring it out against you. This is who these people are. You know, we shouldn't be buying gas, period. All right, that gas should be something, exotic for some special use and purpose. All right, we all could be having cars that run on water or water vapor. We should be, this is 2026. Where's the advancements? There is no advancements in humanity. They give you niggas phones, and it's classified as a dupe. Your phones are a directed energy weapon. And they showed you that in what's that? The guys that with Samuel L. Jackson. I believe they sent the signal. Matter of fact, Samuel L. Jackson did a movie with John Cusack called The Cell. And it was about that, and they were sending signals through the cell phones. And now y'all got this juice. Right, y'all all holding this directed energy weapon. The 5G towers are classified DO weapons. These are directed energy weapons. You see? But y'all think this man love y'all. Let's see here. Yeah, this is Psalm 58:3. the wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. All right, but they are estranged from the womb. They come out wicked, lying, wanting to murder, looking for somebody to murder. These people are drinkers of blood, eaters of flesh. The humankind. But anyway, right. They're the people in deep. They in deep, and they don't know how deep they really are. You know, submerged into this technological terror. But you got it. Go ahead, brother.
John, that's it. I'll go ahead and play a little bit more.
Life, let's call it in a year or two.
Oh, that's another thing. What they go talk about, I'm gonna skip up though. But what they was talking about, they got a lot of, you know, so-called white rich friends who Republicans, and you know, they moved to Mexico a couple months ago. You know, trying to get out of America. But now in Mexico, they're coming with a fully digital system. Now you double trap. You know,
half my time is trying to educate people and stay on top of that, and then the other half of the time is trying to build and introduce people to the alternatives. And the rate of proliferation of digital IDs fell under my radar. Like, you know, we heard about the thing going on in the UK, and people were like, "Oh, Starmer, COVID." They used federal funding for COVID as leverage to basically push and force these states into real ID. And so,
see, and that's why I wanted to say that video. I was trying to pull it back up, but when the dude said every crisis from here on out will be used as an instrument to push toward the digital system, just like he said, CV19, that was an instrument to bring forth digital IDs. They also made the point up in here, digital IDs ain't nothing new. Because of 9/11, that's when digital IDs really popped off.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
all of this happened and nobody paid any attention.
And COVID was an engineered pandemic crisis for exactly this kind of purpose. And also, in my opinion, to get people to, you know, convince them to line up and inject themselves with depopulation bioweapons, which is also part of all of this. And we can even talk, Aaron, about the reason I think they need to have everybody in a digital prison is because, well, the globalists need a very efficient mass extermination method to track and exterminate people to make way for the rise of the robots, which is not that far away in terms of, agentic brains inside physical robots, replacing most human labor. I've been working deeply in AI. The reasoning capabilities of AI models now are off the charts insane. I don't know if you saw the Samsung science paper with the recursive reasoning on the 7 million parameter model. But that shows you that if you throw enough tokens at these issues, that yes, they've already achieved essentially AGI. I mean, AGI it already exists in the labs. It just hasn't been rolled out yet. So, I mean, do you think I'm like way out of my lane saying that, or do you think there's some kind of effort to replace humans in the long run?
You're not out of your lane at all. And one of the things that I've been studying, and people don't want to hear this. A lot of people have gotten very upset with me about this, but I've been tracking what's going on with Elon Musk and Peter Thiel. And then you get back to a guy by the name of Curtis Yarvin, who is kind of pushing this ideology. He's been pushing proactively the idea that the United States needs to have a dictator or CEO or monarch to take back control of the government. And he's proposed things that sound good. I mean, I don't disagree with some of what he's saying in the sense of we have a deep state that's out of control, an administrative state that's out of control. You know, he has this rage idea, retire all government employees, which isn't a bad idea in my mind either, until you realize that the reason that it's being promoted isn't to restore the Constitution, it's to usher in technocracy. That's what Doge was all about. People thought Doge was about cost savings. Once you understand that Elon Musk is a technocrat, it's not about replacing the function of government and making government smaller. It's about actually adding more
automating it, making it more efficient. Yeah.
And automating it. So I think what you're saying is absolutely true by design, and you can actually track the ideology behind it and who's pushing it. And I've argued, I've got this thing called the First Principles Project where you get a...
And that's what it is. And that's pretty much it, Zaquan. But the thing is, that's why Trump them in office. That's why all these things are happening in America the way we seeing. That's why this administration, they really wilding out. Like, that's why we seeing all this.
Yeah, they
You know?
buck wild.
Man, they wilded out, but they go say more things, you know. And I wouldn't be surprised if Trump cabinet do more foolish things, so people could have a less trust with these government institutions, and therefore it may be some push. Well, we don't need nobody to rule over us. We got, you know, there's so many possibilities that could happen from here on out till Yahweh Shai come. That's why it's so exciting to watch.
I know we got the prophecies, but the possibilities. Man, yeah, it could go a number of ways right now. It is exciting. But yeah, you got it, brother.
But that was pretty much it. That's what it's going to a digital system. And these things have to be fulfilled. You know, it's gonna continue to speed up, but it can't be changed. But I ain't really had none of those. We still got precepts.
Me neither. I just add to what you said. This is why the massive corruption is going on with this administration. They know it's up, and they know this is the last grab, and they know they need to get out of America. Either, you know, get a position in the dumb, or like you say, you know, get to one of these islands somewhere, but they got to leave here.
Mm-hmm.
All right, because what's coming here is that's why all of these data centers are being built, huge mega data centers. And regardless of what the people say, people protest, people don't want it, it's regardless, because this is getting ready to become a digital prison, a 15-minute city prison state. That's going to be the value of America. All right, so the people going to be on the hook for this 40 trillion. A lot of people going to die off and be killed. The rest going to be on the, you know, they're going to be on the hook for that tab.
Mm-hmm.
And where they're going to work it off somehow in them 15-minute cities. You know, in the penitentiary, it's going to be a digital gulag here in America, worldwide. You know, they done with this middle class and, you know, all that, the American dream. That's it. They finna, now it's time for the American nightmare. But yeah, brother, that was it.
Yeah, I got one precept. And the brother Cobb, you said that movie with Samuel L. Jackson was The Kingsman.
Kingsman, the water, brother.
Yeah, I was about to say Weatherman or Weatherman.
Yeah, I was confused with Kingsman but yeah, the water.
And then that's a Spirit Lamar posted this because as I was wondering it down just now, this precept came to mind when I say I had nothing else, but this literally came to mind. But he posted the NLT version. So that's the Spirit though. The water. Luke 21:36 in the NLT. It says, keep alert at all times. Again, going into those possibilities. So much can happen. Yeah. It says, keep alert at all times and pray that you might be strong enough to escape these coming horrors and stand before the Son of Man. You see? So it's going to be many things happening before starting now and until Yahweh Shai comes. Some surprising things, some obvious things, all type of events. But our hope and goal is to escape all those and look at Yahweh Shai face to face, man. And he'll, well done, my good and faithful servant. That's the goal.
Yeah,
you see? But with that, I don't know if you want to take us out or
go ahead, brother. You take it on that, brother. Take it on.
Well, with that, Lord willing, this lesson, you know, was edifying. And once again, we want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rachakwadash, and double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and as well as the men that taught them, and peace and blessings to all you Akim out there who pushing his word with all truth and sincerity, and as well as to all you believers out there who believe in the gospel. Hey, keep fighting, keep pushing. We're almost out here. And with that, shalom.
Shalom.
Water for tuning.